Hello friends, welcome to E-Series lecture initiated by LJ Institute of Pharmacy. Myself Dr. Dilip Maheshwari, working as a professor and head of department chemistry and QA. In today's lecture we will discuss about instrumentation of HPLC. In previous class we have studied about introduction and principle of HPLC. The HPLC is a basically chromatography technique. For the separation of compound, HPLC is used. These are the instrumentation parts: solvent reservoir, tubing, pumps, injector system, guard column, analytical column, detector, recorder and integrators. These are the main parts of HPLC. Here this is a schematic diagram of HPLC. So from first solvent reservoir is there. From that the solvent is moving through the pump, injector system, then HPLC column, then the detector and then the fist. The sample which you want to inject, sample which you want to analyze, it can be injected in the injector sample. Then they can be passed through the HPLC column, they separate out and then it pass through the detectors. The detector can be analyzed and produce a signal and it is recorded in the recorder device. This is a picture of HPLC, that is isocratic system. Isocratic system means here same mobile phase composition can be used throughout the analysis. And gradient system means you can be modify the solvent system, you can be change the polarity of solvent system because their reservoirs are different. This is a picture of isocratic system. See, this is a schematic diagram of again gradient system. Solvent 1 and solvent 2 are present in the reservoirs. According to the analysis, you can be modify the quantity of your solvents, then they can be degas it, mixing into the mixing vessel, then they can be passed through the pump, then the pre-columns, then the sample injector, then through the analytical columns, and after separation they can be passed through the detector can be analyzed and then it goes into the waste. So this is a schematic diagram of gradient system. This is a picture of fully automated HPLC system. The upper part, the sample reservoirs are there. Below that, the sample tray and sample injector system is there. Below that, the column is nothing but stationary phase which is present in there. At the bottom, detector and pumps are there and it is attached with the recorder system. So behind that the software are present in the computer systems. Now see one by one all the component of HPLC. First one is solvent reservoir. Here solvent reservoirs, they are made up of glass, stainless steel and plastic material. They are also be available in the different capacity, 250 ml, 500 ml, liter. So according to our analysis we have to select that reservoir, solvent reservoirs. So generally glass material reservoirs are generally used in the HPLC. Then the next part is tubing. So tubing is nothing but the plastic pipes, tubings are there which are connected with the all the parts of the HPLC. Through that the solvent is running, moving on the different parts. The ideal characteristic of tubing is it should be inert, it have the ability to withstand it high pressures, it able to carry the sufficient volume of solvent system. The next part is the pump. The pump is also a major role because the name itself, high pressure liquid chromatography, high performance liquid chromatography, it is due to the pumps. The pump, they can be moving the solvent system very fastly throughout the HPLC. So generally 1000 to 3000 psi solvent can be moved through the columns. There are two types of pumps are here, constant flow rate pump and constant pressure pumps. Constant flow rate pump are also two types, reciprocating pump and syringe drive pump. And the constant pressure pump is also known as pneumatic pump. The working construction and working are different, so they can be worked accordingly. The next part is the injector systems. The sample which you want to analyze, it can be injected, it can be introduced into the HPLC through the injector systems. Here again two types of injector systems are there. Number one, septum injector system. Number two, loop injector system. In septum injector system, here the sample is introduced into the rubber septum through the syringe, the automatic syringe. Then the sample is not wasting, and the amount which you want to introduce into HPLC, they can be introduced and directly introduced into the column for the separation. And loop injector system, it is a different. Here it can be working in the two mode, sample load mode and then sample inject mode. First you can be introduce your sample, so your sample is loading and according to the loop size which are available. So generally different type of loop size are available, 10 microliter, 20 microliter, 30 microliter loops are available. So according to your need you can be fix it. It is for example 20 microliter sample you want to analyze, so you can be fix it. Then after loading of sample you can be change the position, so sample inject system is introduce your 20 microliter, for example 20 microliter of sample into the columns. One disadvantage of this loop injector system is the fixed volume. Once 20 microliter loop is available, so you can only use the 20 microliter sample only, not 10 microliter or more than that. So this is some limitation of loop injector system. Then the next part of HPLC is guard column. Here guard column is available before the analytical columns. It is also known as a pre-filter, which can be enhance the life of analytical column, because analytical column is a very sensitive. If small amount of particulate matter or moisture they can be introduced or drops are introduced, so it can be collapse the analytical columns. So before that the guard columns are placed in the HPLC. The guard columns remove the moisture or any particulate matter which are available in the solvent systems. So guard column having a very crucial role. They having a no role in the separation. The material which are used is the same, but it can be not having any criteria for the separation. Analytical column. Analytical column is nothing but your stationary phase which are used in HPLC. There are different type of analytical columns are used. They are made up of stainless steel, glass, polyethylene and polyether ether ketone material. But generally stainless steel columns are used which are filled with the different stationary phase, different powder material. Of the material which are used in the analytical column, they can be depend upon the which phase you are using. If the normal phase are using, so in that selenoyl hydroxyl group material are used. If you are reverse phase column you want to use, so C18, C8, C4, nitrile column, amino columns are used which are non-polar in nature. So this is about the analytical column which are used in the HPLC. After separation of your compound through the analytical column, they can be passed through the detectors. So the detector having a role to detect the amount compound which are separate out through the analytical columns. They can be working on their construction and working, and uh, they can be sense the compound on the basis of solute property and bulk property. Here four types of detector are used in the HPLC generally: UV visible detector, photodiode array detector, fluorescence detector and refractive index detector. These all detectors are working on the solute property of your compound which can be uh, passed through the analytical column. After separation they can be detected. Then after producing a signal, they can be go into the recorder systems, and there you get the chromatogram. So this is about the instrumentation part of HPLC. Thank you for listening.